When you are singing or whistling a melody in the shower, you generally don't have your band or even your guitar at hand. Yet you're perfectly capable of coming up with a tune, improvising a melodic phrase, or hum through a major or a minor scale. Sometimes you can hear the accompanying chords in your head, sometimes the melody stands on its own. We can pick up some basic points about melodies by doing this. First off, these melodies that we come up with come in phrases, as in they have a beginning and an end. Some are short, some are a bit longer, but they don't tend to go on forever. And that's because you need to breathe in between your singing, humming, or whistling. Now this is a very important aspect of melodies. They come in phrases. Good and strong melodies have breathing spaces between the phrases. They don't go on and on. Some notes within such a phrase sound longer than others, and we vary the pitch of the notes. These are the main characteristics of a melodic phrase: pitch and length of the notes. Another important feature is the space between the notes, some shorter, some longer. This makes for a certain rhythmic feel of the melodic phrase. Some notes might be louder than others, and there are other ways to manipulate the notes to give them a certain characteristic. All these elements make up the feel of a melodic phrase, and a well-constructed melody has phrases that can stand by themselves. When we improvise a melody, we mostly use a major or minor scale. These scale notes all have a relationship to each other. When you sing a major scale, you'll find that some notes have more gravity, are more stable than others. The first, third, and fifth note of the scale are the most stable. The others feel like they want to resolve. They feel more or less unstable. When I sing a melody in the key of C major, the C, E, and G notes feel stable. La, 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 la. The A note, which is number 6 in the major scale, wants to resolve down to a G. La, 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 la. When I sing a D note, it wants to resolve down to the tonic of the scale C. La, 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 la. The fourth note, F, also wants to go down to a stable note, in this case the number 3, E. F wants to go down to E. La, 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 la. And last but not least is the most unstable note of the major scale, the B note. La, 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 la. The B note is called the guide tone, and it wants to resolve up to the C. Now bear in mind that we're not playing or singing these notes on top of a chord or a chord progression yet. The tension we're talking about is inherent to the scale. Once we start playing chords, these melody notes get a relationship with the background chords and might feel more or less stable than when we're just singing a cappella. Generally, when we improvise singing a tune in a major scale, the flow of the melody will be quite even. You'll go up the scale ladder step by step and go down the same way. Occasionally, you'll insert a larger jump for variation, but too many of those would make for a tough melody to sing. Again, a very important aspect for a well-designed melody, a good flow with an occasional large jump. And you'll notice that once you've sung a larger intervallic jump, the tendency for the note after the large jump is to go in the opposite direction. Think about the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which starts with a large jump up, followed by a note that goes down the scale again. This is called gap filling, and again an important feature of well-written melodies. When you sing or write these melodic phrases, the ending note is always the most important note. That is the one that will stick to your ear. If that note is one of the unstable notes, 6, 2, 4, or 7, you'll feel like the melody wants to continue. You feel you can't leave the melody like it is. The note has some tension. It wants to resolve to a tone that is not coming, yet. Singing or playing a melody that uses these types of phrases is a great way to set up question and answer within a melody. The melody can remain open after a question phrase, ending on one of the tension notes. The melodic answer phrase can then incorporate the intended release note, so 1, 3, or 5 from the scale, and close the phrase. This question and answer principle and playing with open and closed melodic phrases is a great way of creating solid melodies that stick to the ear. The same can be done for singing or playing melodies on a minor scale. Because we use several different types of minor scales in modern pop and rock music, we have more choices for notes. The most important minor scales all hold a tonic, flatted third, and perfect fifth. These are the stable notes in a minor scale, although the flatted third feels a bit less stable than the major third did in the major scale. All the other notes will have some tension and will want to resolve to one of these notes when we play or sing them without background chords. In an Aeolian minor scale, we have a flatted sixth wanting to go down to the 5. And a fourth wanting to resolve to the flatted third. A major second wanting to go down to the tonic. And a flatted seventh wanting to resolve up to the tonic. In a Dorian scale, the only difference is that we have a major sixth instead of a flatted sixth. Aeolian, Dorian. It still wants to go down to the perfect fifth, but a bit less so. Both scales don't have a real guide tone. Where we had the major seventh in the major scale, which really wanted to go up to the tonic, we now have a flatted seventh. There's less tension. For harmonic reasons, this flatted seventh is often changed to a major seventh. When we do this, we end up with two versions of minor scales we had, the Aeolian and Dorian, that now incorporate a major seventh. These scales are called a harmonic minor and a melodic minor scale. The same principles and rules that we found with the major scale melodies apply to all minor scale melodies. Strong melodies stroll up and down the scale step by step, with occasionally a larger jump. This gap is filled with the note right after a large jump that goes in the opposite direction. There has to be breathing space between the melodic phrases, and open and closed phrases can be constructed by ending the phrase on unstable or stable notes, and in that manner create questions and answers.